So today, mid-inning show, we decided to give it a bit of a twist. Today we will do go to a mandir for mannat मांगने के लिए. You know ना. Today you ask Rahul Rawat, Babaji, Babaji, whatever you want in life. If you need anyone, you can even send in your questions directly. If you want to know, like somebody is looking for a job, when will he get a job? Or somebody will get married, or somebody wants to know when will they have kids, or anything you want to know.
But somebody did ask that question, no? In the pre-match show, remember? Somebody asked when will I get married? है ना?
Someone did?
No, when you were reminding about that Rajasthan Royals 91, I think.
No, Rajasthan Royals, RCB.
No, somebody asked ना कि when will I get? So I said, यार अपना नहीं पता मुझे तुम्हारा क्या.
No.
What was
I
that?
said that. I said the same thing. I said that because you had told that story about you getting the 90 odd.
यार,
so
what a
I
day.
Said, then you should ask.
What
people,
a day to remind people of that story.
Was that also 24th of April?
No, that would have been in September. That was during the second leg of the 2021 season.
So basically, he's got his prediction bang on. I think 144 he had said. And I mean, see, there are times when we have got predictions right, but they have been conventional score. Why this is even more special? Because very unconventional score. Like, you know, we have got 175 right or 182 right.
It's not multiples of 5.
Yeah,
it is a very precise number.
We've got 182 and all also. But the thing is that the fact that this is such a rare score, to get a rare score right.
And I'll add to it. He first had a score of 200 in mind for another team. For another team.
Yeah. See, if
SRH
would have batted, they would have actually scored 200, which means.
To be fair, this is not a 144 pitch. Definitely not a 144.
But the team is a 144 team.
Yeah.
It's not a 144 pitch, but what's really funny about all of this, they chose to bat.
Yeah.
They opted to bat.
No, but that wouldn't have made any difference because it doesn't matter whether they bat first or bat second. They're going to bat just the way that they bat. So today they thought, okay, maybe chase we won't be able to do. Let's just bat first. At least puri batting mil jayegi. You know, whatever. Which they did. 20 overs they got now.
20 overs and every single one of the batsmen came in. Even Ishant Sharma, the number 11.
This is like that gully cricket logic, कि batting सबकी आ जाएगी, फिर घर जाओ अपने.
In fact, Shivam, just go to our comment section. 1 second to the comment section. So just go ekdam right on top. Right on top. See, when it just started, just see one of the first comments. Basically, it's a, what do you call it, compliment given to you. It's actually a compliment. You know when they...
That one?
Yeah, because when you say
no, that one?
Yeah. Yeah, because...
Okay.
It's like, basically it's a compliment. When you say, shit, I can't believe it. Like...
It's like that.
Yeah, it's exactly that. Like you said, and exactly that has happened.
Big cheers, Rahul Rawat.
That's what.
Yeah.
My God. So you can send your questions if you want from Baba Rahul Rawat, if you want anything you want to know the future. Shivam, now go down and keep a track if anyone wants to know.
Our Rahul, first question, and people
Actually,
can. Exactly. Coming from the Delhi camp, since you got it right for the Delhi team, any moments of happiness or anything? Will we see 2 more points this season?
Can't say.
What are you saying?
Have I asked for too much?
They will go.
Can't say actually.
One more win also they won't get full season now.
You never know the way they are playing. I think they are just like, Shane. I said Shane is waiting for the next season for KKR.
Yeah.
I think Delhi Capitals, they also I think are waiting for their next season. And I don't know how many casualties will be there this time. Midway through the tournament or after the tournament, because I'm not too sure if Rishabh Pant will be back to captain this team next year.
No, so you're saying because they may not want him back or he may not be fit enough to captain.
Exactly. It might take time because he has to recover fully, and then he has to get back into cricket. That will also take time. So for them, Ricky Ponting, now everybody must be waiting for the end of the season. How soon can they end this season? And now, the moment you start losing, they look a very disjointed team, right? 3 foreign batters today, 37 runs?
Around
37 runs for them.
Golden duck.
And if you include Nortje, although you won't expect much from Nortje with the bat, if you include his score as well, so it's 39 runs for their foreign players.
So 21 and Marsh is 20.
46.
Sorry,
so 46
49
over there.
runs from their 4 foreign
What
players.
you're saying is not even a half century, right, or something like that. Whatever, it's a poor performance. Actually, that's happening to a lot of teams. Foreigners really not pulling their weight.
True.
no.
It's happening with that.
And
Andre
today,
Russell,
yeah.
Narayan.
Narayan.
So, but on the front of the Delhi Capitals team, he's talking about. I'm guessing when you're referring that a lot of changes might happen after this season.
Or midway also.
Midway.
Midway.
You really think that Indian cricket is something different? Here, so many times we've been saying, KL Rahul. We've said it a lot. KL Rahul, maybe he doesn't deserve that spot in the Indian team, but the team persisted with it. Franchisee cricket, they are very ruthless.
Yeah.
Even I'm saying for KL Rahul in Lucknow also, by the way, it may not be very simple and easy and cozy for him there. Because there, you pointed out, the other day, Sanjeev Goenka as an owner, you would remember, because of those poor results, he removed MS Dhoni as captain of that team.
Rising.
Was it Sanjeev Goenka or
Yes.
Goenka?
No,
Rising.
Sanjeev only. Yes.
Yeah.
They
I
finished
remember-
second last.
But at that time, can I tell you that also I remember that they were having a. I mean, at the time I'd heard that they were having a bit of a tough time with Dhoni for other events. Now what happens is you got to realize that CSK, Dhoni has been made very comfortable and he's like kind of an owner only of the team. What I'm saying owner isn't because he held a designation in India Cements and India Cements is actually the owner, so he does play a very active role. We all know that, right? And they've protected him, they've given him a free hand, which is good sometimes, like owners have done in CSK. What happened there were a lot of issues because now new owners come, they want to do a launch, they want to do this product endorsement or they want this. So they were finding it tough to get, and he's a very reclusive kind of guy. He's not always available. CSK allows him that kind of leeway, which wasn't happening. So it wasn't just based on-field performances, it also had to do a lot with, and sometimes owners expect a lot that, you'll be at their beck and call. For social gatherings, functions, this and that. MS is not that kind of a guy. And so there was a bit of friction at that level also to a stage where I mean, I'll have to go back. If you remember, Harsh Goenka had put out a few tweets also that were pretty nasty at the time, I remember. I'll dig them.
Those were directed towards MS?
Yes.
Oh.
I'll dig those out. I remember because, those reporting on those. So a lot of things.
And in fact, the events that you're talking about that MS Dhoni may not be available for those wouldn't have been available. I remember there was one such event where MS Dhoni was available and there he said, Dil se to abhi bhi. I think he made some remarks that Dil se to abhi bhi Chennai, Dil mein to Chennai Super Kings hi hai. I think that also may not have gone down too well with this thing. But that's what I'm saying, the franchisee format is such that the owners, these are private entities, so they may not like and also it's not that that you have a cricketer there and he is calling the shots. These are businessmen. They have reputation also at stake because they feel that my team has to do well, and so maybe David Warner might just be chucked out as the captain.
If you remember, also you're right, the owners are different. If you remember, before the first season, I'd done an interview with Mr. Goenka digitally, and I think I asked him, I clearly remember, I asked him a question about, it's the first year of your franchise, you're a new franchise, all other franchises said, so will you have realistic goals like, making the playoff? Because it takes time for a franchise to get going. He said, no, from first season, we want to win. That's what my goal is. That's what I expect. If it doesn't happen, that's another thing.
Yeah.
But the goal is not that, just happy with 1 or 2 seasons of teams getting used to each other or combinations going. No, so you're right. In that franchise model, you expect a team to do well. Just that with Delhi, the difference has been, one, I believe that their management slightly changed or for the better after you had JSW collaboration, because before that the team would change every season. At least you saw some sort of stability in Delhi since then. But I think now they've gone the other extreme, because 2019, where they had a golden chance of winning when they lost the final. 2020, when they lost the final.
Mumbai.
That was by far the best team of the season. They finished top of the group also. They should have won. But you know what I saw? And there was silly mistakes that cost them the title. And the messaging coming out, and I know for a fact that the owners went like, oh, it's okay, no problem. Sometimes even that sort of mollycoddling or being very nice, when you're really goofed up, doesn't work. Then also team gets into a comfort zone. You need to get the right balance of really ticking them off, also being nice. That's when I realized that this Delhi franchise, if you have this, that was one extreme where they would just change everything. Then it became the other extreme. I thought it will be very tough for them to win titles, because you need that right balance which certain franchises have, which wasn't there in
and you know, after that season, Shreyas Iyer was the captain that season, and Shreyas Iyer also left that franchise. In fact, they wanted to have Shreyas Iyer back, but if I remember correctly, I think Shreyas himself didn't want to go back to the Delhi Capitals. And you know, these business houses, the people, for example, they are all actively involved in their teams. Parth Jindal, you would see, you know, Kavya Maran, for example, she's also there. They would go meet so many people in social gatherings. They may or may not be cricketers, by the way. They would say they'll have their own suggestions, and they also have a mind of their own. We also say a lot of things about Indian cricket, but we can't do anything. We can't change the team or anything that is happening, but they can, and they will.
You can't change teams?
We can't. We can only suggest if it actually reaches the right people, and you never know.
Sometimes does it?
No.
But in case of Delhi,
but it does make a difference. The voices that you hear,
that's what
it's not just me, you, Shane, or Harshit, but also the people who are watching you. The people the biggest stakeholders, I think when they also start something, for example, it does affect positively also and negatively also. It happens for the cricketers also. They can also be affected just because of that social, outrage on social media, what people are saying. It does affect. And Shreyas Iyer was the captain. He had just made it to the final. Then India won that Brisbane test. Rishabh Pant came here in Delhi, arrived the same day. The owners had a meeting with Rishabh Pant, and now they were in a fix whether to make Rishabh the captain or persist with Shreyas Iyer. Luckily for the owners, because they were in a fix what to do. We can't remove a captain who's just made it to the final. So what they did was, fortunately for them, what happened, and unfortunately for Shreyas Iyer, I think he got injured. So Rishabh Pant was made the captain that year.
Yes.
And from there on, they never changed
he
the
also
captain.
did a decent job.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And also, just the one addition, as far as that whole Shreyas Iyer situation was concerned, Delhi were in a bit of a fix because you were heading into an auction, the mega auction, and you had to then make only three. What do you call? You could only save out on the retain 3 players. But and Shreyas by then, or the understanding I had was that Shreyas had made very clear about his ambitions to lead the team, and that is where the bit of that overlap was, because Rishabh had delivered. Then you had Shreyas Iyer who had that injured shoulder as well and was just coming back. So that is where the overlap happened, and he was happy to part ways, because then of course KKR had generated.
But can you say that Pant delivered? Because if I'm not wrong, the season after 2020, they didn't make it to the playoffs.
No, they did.
They did.
Oh, they made it to the playoffs.
Next season also.
Last year was the, I think, only year in the last 3-4 years, because that also boiled down to that final game against Mumbai, I remember, and Delhi potched it up and finished 5th.
I even know the amount. They were ready to shell out a pretty good amount for Shreyas Iyer. And
what was the amount?
I can't remember it. I knew the amount also, but I think Shreyas himself didn't want to be part of that.
It was the captaining ambition,
And he was removed as the captain. It's not that he moved to a different franchise. That wasn't the case. He was removed as the captain, and for no fault of his, and which even the franchise, the Delhi Capital owners also realized that this is wrong. We have to compensate somehow, and we didn't want to lose out on Shreyas Iyer, because whatever said and done, Shreyas Iyer in T20s, at least in IPL, has been a better bet than Rishabh Pant. You'll have to. Rishabh Pant, no doubt, Test cricketer, the number of matches that he's won for India and the way he has won you games, he's been your biggest match winner at Test cricket. ODIs also, it is acceptable, but in T20, especially in IPL, Shreyas has done a pretty good job.
And he was doing a good job for Delhi also.
Yeah.
But unfortunately for him, the injury happened.
Yeah. We'll take 2 questions before we wrap up. Meet Sony wants to know, will Ricky Ponting be there next season? My educated guess is going to be no. I doubt.
I think he will himself move out.
No, or even if they want him to move out, it's always it's put in a way that he has this.
Thank you very much. Yeah, he has decided.
We parted ways by mutual consent.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for your services.
That is the.
The club I support has sacked a lot of managers.
So he's well versed.
Well versed with the language, yes. We thank Mr. XNX for their services. We wish them luck for the future
endeavors.
Yes.
That's what will happen.
One question, Rahul, you can answer. He wants to know, do you see Dhoni as a coach for CSK in the future?
Can't say. I think Dhoni will be the brand. I think mentor in that role. Stephen Fleming is doing such a good job.
Yeah, he won't coach. You're right. He'll be mentor.
He'll be mentor.
Like Saurav Ganguly.
Exactly. Why do you have to?
Director of cricket or something like that.
Or Sachin.
Like that.
He could be your brand ambassador, he could be your mentor, but as far as coaching is concerned, I'm sure Dhoni will be actively involved. Although you never know. Maybe Dhoni would say, my time is up. Now it's up to you guys. Do whatever you want to do. Just don't trouble your mother.
Do whatever you want to. Just don't trouble your mother.
And don't trouble me also.
He'll be like an ambassadorial role. I think he's
he'll
connected
be involved.
Yeah.
No, he will be. That's what I'm
CSK.
saying. No? Even if you make him the mentor, I think he will be involved.
Yeah.
Unlike, I don't know if Stephen Fleming is involved or not, because. No, he's
They trot him out for every press conference ever. Of course
I think he's been hired only for press conferences. but nice guy, and that's the case with CSK. In fact, some of the players who played with in Chennai Super Kings in that team, they say nothing doing. Dhoni in his hotel room, he will have that rowing machine. And for that back, and after the match gets over, you have all players, they have their families, no practice, nothing. If you want to do practice, if you want to practice train, go. Otherwise there is no compulsion. There will be no team meetings as such, that you will have team, we will dissect
5 minute long team.
You will have discussions. So today, tomorrow, after the match, before the match, falana, they will have just one team. It's a very chilled out mahal in that dressing room. They won't bother you, and they know how to keep their the players and their families, how to enjoy. It's like a family culture. When Raina was there, Dhoni was there, all these players, their daughters, Jadeja, Harbhajan Singh, all their daughters, families would just go around.
But see, happy camp will always do it.
Exactly, and that is exactly not happening with Delhi Capitals. I do not
what
think.
Is that? Their daughters and not playing together.
No, but then that logic doesn't apply to RCB. Then they also have all these massive functions. Maxwell's wedding.
But they are happy. But at least they are happy. At least they are happy. It looks.
Yeah, so many of them.
8 times.
Yeah.
Record or whatever. No, won't be the record.
I think there is the difference between a big team, as in Mumbai Indians, Chennai Super Kings, and other teams, and teams like Punjab maybe. I think there's a difference between want and need. So I'm sure before the start of the tournament, a few franchisees, a few teams would say we want the title.
Yeah.
I think teams like Punjab would say we need this title.
But they don't get it.
That because you just need it. If you get it, very good. If you don't get it, chalega. When you say I want it,
Which is why even with Mumbai, they started the campaign slowly. They have some momentum at the moment, even though lost out very closely to RCB, but still had those 3 wins in succession. You still, when you see them or CSK, let's say, who are by the way top right now, but Mumbai, even when they're slotted in the middle of the table, you have that fear factor about them, and you sort of get that vibe from them that okay, if it's not like an 8-loss season for them, as in they're not starting horribly, that this team, because of the past that they've had, they can resurrect their campaign because of the experience and the mentality that they have.
Yes, and the moment they make it to the playoffs,
Yes.
you know that you actually become an underdog.
Exactly.
You become. Although I'll be surprised if Mumbai Indians, if they win this title this time, because with this bowling attack, although now I think their batting is they've got their mojo back. As far as their batsmen are concerned, it's their bowling. And traditionally, historically, we've seen, IPL titles are won by teams who have a very good bowling attack.
Yeah. I mean, that actually was pretty evident when you saw their team, that their batting seemed pretty good.
Yeah.
They've got their mojo back also, that's another fact. The bowling looked very, very weak, so that's been an issue. Before we wrap up, we already had
But which team has a very good bowling attack?
No, a lot of them, like for example, I mean...
I think Rajasthan do.
Rajasthan.
Quality spinners, quality seamers.
But apart from that, I think...
On paper, some of these bowling lineups don't look that bad. For example...
GT,
LSG.
GT.
No, even actually Delhi, when you thought of Noke, Kuldeep Yadav, it's just that, a lot of them haven't really done very well. But when you looked at the team Lucknow has, even actually SRH bowling lineup with a Bhuvneshwar Kumar, Marco Jansen, Markande,
And Natarajan. All of these guys are proven performers. Right?
they're not that bad, but just that
They're bad. But the problem for them is their batting.
That's been underperforming, exactly. Again, the batting looks good, but just been underperforming. So, just on the subject of the game, any surprises? Anyone guesses?
I'm surprised they went for this review. What?
Yeah.
It's like it's adding salt to the bones.
Shreyas Hamale is saying, I think Mr. Rahul Rawat is firstly, thank you very much for is unaware about Rishabh Pant's batting stats in the IPL. Much better than Iyer. Maybe you are right. He may have better IPL numbers compared to Shreyas Iyer. Maybe I got it wrong. But then overall, if you see, Shreyas Iyer at least got them to the final of the IPL.
Yeah.
And it's not that Rishabh Pant was a bad captain or whatever it may be. As I often say, why do you fix something when it is not broken?
So firstly, Mayank Agarwal is back, opening after the middle order experiment. They pushed him down. Abhishek Sharma had opened last time, but now that's changed.
And that also has changed the intent.
From Agarwal.
Mayank Agarwal,
Agarwal.
Good to see some intent.
So anyone predicting an upset after that total? Nobody?
Not for this match, Not for this match.
I need to start bringing disciplines to office.
Sports Warrior is saying it is cool and fine if CSK.
I was thinking about that when you were.
I know you only make such a hue and cry over
No.
Indian team not captain.
I mean, it's when I don't know what happens when they're not winning, but when you're winning, you're doing well, then it's okay. By the way, they also have the longest camps before IPL starts, so I'm sure they put in the hard yards.
And I think that has also to do with the age also. Not this year. I'm not too sure. Maybe things may have changed now.
No, but more than that, the other reason is, I tell you, why you can't compare international to IPL. International, there's a big gap between games and you don't travel that much.
Exactly.
In IPL, you're traveling every second day, no gaps. It's not easy to have them.
That is primarily the reason. And it may suit to somebody, it may not suit to. I'm saying, perhaps within that team, there could be players who actually want to train. But they can, but maybe they also don't get to train. As in, at times you would say, what would he think? Because if you get a Tendulkar in CSK, he may not like it. By the way, he would say, I have to train and I have to. Whether it is Legends League, whether it is that road safety league, whether it is for the Indian team, or whether it is in the IPL. Sachin Tendulkar is very particular about his practice, about his training. In fact, this road safety series, no, Suresh Raina played. So I think you were also there, no, when he was discussing about. he said, सचिन पाजी का तो यार मतलब अजीब ही है उनका, मतलब वो रोड सेफ्टी के लिए ऐसे प्रैक्टिस कर रहे थे जैसे वर्ल्ड कप की तैयारी कर रहे हो.
He's very serious about his thing. By the way, a lot of comments about the UCL and the derby. Is it
It's not this week. It's not this week.
okay, so they'll do the video. Yeah, Shivam.
सर मैं ये बोलना चाहूँगा कि यहाँ पे चेन्नई नहीं जीतेगी, मुंबई जीत जाएगी, राजस्थान जीत जाएगी, लखनऊ जीत जाएगी, हमारी ही 10 टीमें, लेकिन वो इंडिया नहीं जीतेगी तो 2 को.
आंखों से आंसू
You
आ
are
गए.
saying that.
आंसू आ गए आपकी बात
Maybe
से.
Rahul Rawat is more troubled if Rajasthan doesn't win. He's a fan.
नहीं, but I'll take that from
Indian team.
Yeah, Indian team यार. मेरे
जीतेगा
को
तो इंडिया. मतलब
एक ही आवाज
सुनाई देती है.
इंडिया.
Thank you, Shivam.
आंखों से आंसू आ गए यार आपकी बात सुनकर.
Okay, bye bye. See you at the end of the game. Enjoy.